Welcome to 5-Minute Adventures in Risk and Resilience, the Steel City Re podcast on managing reputation risk. Today's episode, getting valued for good information that neutralizes bad information. The risk officer of an iconic publicly traded media company with a century-old reputation for quality reporting made his way to meet with his CFO. He had a review of the company's enterprise risk management and captive programs in hand. The company's greatest brand asset had always been its reputation for trustworthiness. It was guarded by established risk management processes in its operating divisions, and it was mission critical to preserving the value of the business. Senior management was confident that its stakeholders knew the company well and that its reputation was resilient and couldn't be doubted. Then, in a matter of under 3 hours, another large business with a similarly mission-critical reputation for preserving its value had its expectations all but destroyed. Eli Lilly and Company had delighted its investors for many years. Its pricing policies were opaque to the world, but they helped contribute to a lofty stock price. What else could they need to know? That resilient pricing reputation collapsed in the face of a single fabricated social media message that falsely announced that the company would make insulin available for free. Even though the news was entirely fake, stakeholders accepted the false assertion as the truth. Shareholders panicked, shaving 7% off the company's market cap in the first 48 hours. Lilly's efforts to correct everyone's misunderstanding with classical reputation crisis management only outraged and galvanized consumers, activists, and progressive regulators into an outsized reaction. And then, on the 112th day of its crisis, Lilly conceded that its reputation for pricing discipline was no longer believed by stakeholders, and it announced a 70% price reduction. To the risk officer at the media company, the lesson to be learned was that he couldn't take reputation resilience for granted. Traditions and trust just weren't enough. Enterprise risk management had a role to play. He walked into the CFO's office and took a seat. Our world-class processes for managing the operational risks to our reputation for trustworthiness are opaque to outside stakeholders, he began. We need to ensure that their belief in our quality processes can withstand both isolated errors and flat-out fabrications. Well, we employ a phalanx of lawyers, marketing and communications specialists, and lobbyists for that very purpose, the CFO replied. You guys run our captive, quite profitably, I might add, and protect us from losses with insurance. Isn't reputation risk management a stretch? The risk officer shook his head. No, actually, this is in our power alley. Let me outline a 3-pronged plan to strengthen our mission-critical reputation for trustworthiness. First, because reputation is at risk when something threatens what is mission-critical to us, stakeholders in the capital and risk markets will recognize that if we're using our captive for reputation risk, we've figured out how to value, measure, and mitigate that risk. An NDBI policy is ideal here. Second, he continued, let's show that our insurance and risk management processes are rich in risk management by improving our risk forecasting and intelligence capabilities to the level expected by our internal stakeholders. And third, for the benefit of our external stakeholders who do not have visibility into the above, let's authenticate the quality of our captive operations and risk management processes by reinsuring the captive with an all-risk outcome-linked parametric cover, which could potentially replace some existing excess coverages. My colleagues in communications can help us share this reinsurance story in a way that is simple, easy to understand, and completely credible. I didn't appreciate that the risk world got into psychology, mused the CFO, but I get it. The interface of insurance, risk management, and communications is all about behavioral economics, and it does present us with an interesting opportunity to leverage our captive and strengthen our mission-critical reputation for trustworthiness. Then let's go share the good news, the risk officer added. With reputation risk forecasting, management, and insurance, Steel City Re helps companies build and prove to stakeholders their thoughtful risk management and dutiful governance over all that is mission critical. It is an authenticated story stakeholders can appreciate and value.